So I noticed something strange about these. The camera would focus on the display. 13.8, 13.7. They act kind of strange under a load. I don't really know what the reason would be, but they start to not read normal. They start reading differently. Let's see, when they were reading lower, I think, than they were. So basically, they might not be accurate to use to monitor the batteries while you're running a load, but I guess when the batteries are at rest, so to speak, it might be a little more accurate. Right now, I've got the inverter off, and basically the point of these is just kind of keep an eye on the batteries and make sure that they're balanced, because that seems to be an issue. So another annoying thing is this MPP solar here. Constantly, I've hated this thing since I got it. I've had two of them. This is I returned the first one, and the second one I bought used, which was not a smart choice, but it has the parallel unit inside of it, and I thought, oh well, that's cool, I'm gonna get one with the parallel unit in it for free. They charge like $79 for the parallel unit, but it doesn't matter because you don't have the cables. I didn't get the cables with it. I don't think the guy knew that it was in there. He had two of them or something. I think he was running them in parallel, but anyway, he kept all the other stuff with the other one. This thing will randomly disconnect the solar from it all the time, and it does it when it's under load. It does it when the voltage reaches a certain thing. It is really weird stuff. I don't know if the first one did that. Could be just a firmware thing in it, but I mean, it does work. It's just got some quirks, and it's really annoying that when you really are counting on your solar and your batteries are dipping low, it will disconnect. And it'll sit there and take a minute or two to reconnect. And then the MPPT is very slow with its algorithm. But it is cool. It's a hybrid inverter, so it means that you can plug it into the grid. You could technically backfeed into the grid if you really wanted to, but anyway, you can plug it into the grid and share the load with the grid, which definitely puts a lot of noise in the radio, as we determined in another video. But these here are very odd, how the camera picks them up. Anyway, they seem to be fine when you're not running a load. But let me try and put this back over here so I can test these again. We're gonna try and see if I can get it to focus. I got a lot of stuff in my way here. 13.8, 13.7. Okay. Fluke meter up here. So you guys can see that. 13.86. Cool. 13.82. This one's reading 13.7. So this one is lower than that one, so that's cool. Alright. We'll turn the inverter on and see what happens. The big load is an air conditioner in the house, but it's not going to come on automatically without me going in there and turning it on. And right now, I honestly don't want to run it because we have cloud cover. It's later in the evening. There's definitely not enough solar to run it right now. So I don't want to be taxing the batteries. So what I need to do is come over here and get my outlet. I got a bunch of stuff that I had to move around because I was doing different things. So there's a fan underneath here that cools these charge controllers. It doesn't draw very much. I'm trying to think if there's something else in here I could use to load this thing up to try and get it to do something weird. Okay, so I'm putting a hard load on it right now. Solar's not adequate, and we know that we're drawing from the batteries quite a bit. Let's go see what it reads. 1305 instead of 12.7. 1303. These don't read right under load. Let me switch my probes. 13 volts, but now it reached 12.9, which is not bad. Okay. This one reached 12.97, but this is reading 12.6, which is not right. 12.96, 12.9. Okay. 12.94, but this is still reading 12.6. That's off by 0.3 under a load. 12.93. It doesn't make sense. So 12.94, 12.9. I can adjust this one, but I have a feeling what's going to happen is as soon as I do, it's going to be wrong when it's at rest. That one's reading correctly, so what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead. I've got a multiple pack of these. I'm going to remove this particular one. Actually, I don't know if I can. Now it reached 12.8, 12.9. So we need to see what's going on here. That one's going up. It's reading 13.10 on this one. And it's 13.15 on that one. Okay. We got 13.16 over here. This one's not right. You know, need to bring it up. Okay. I've brought it up to 13. Let me see what the voltage actually is. 12.96, 12.95. There might be a point where you can't really adjust these. Like, they just will be disproportionately wrong. So this one is 13 even at 12.9. Okay. This thing is reading too high now. 13.1 at 13.08. So what I want to try and do is back this one off. The problem is that the load is varying. Alright. It changed as soon as I started to try and adjust it. 13.1 up to 13.2. 13. So this one's about 13 volts, or give or take. So it's going to be really just kind of tough to monitor these, but I think 12.93 at 13 volts is pretty close. I just think that they're just not going to be accurate enough, and I think if you try and adjust them, they become disproportionate. That's what it seems like anyway.